Ooh. Well, yeah, look at that, huh? Handy, at least for me. Which has returned. That I find rather pleasant. Which means we can actually, well, I had some other plans today, but as it's already started, I'm going to be uncreative, to put it mildly, and just go with what I had originally planned. I know, creativity as such might not be my strong suit in this particular regard, but it also fucking works. And since I am somewhat unprepared, because I'd kinda actually accepted the idea that today would not be working, so I'm prepared even worse than usual. I need to challenge my phone. One hand, and I need to actually open Windows. Didn't say you were live. Well, that is because, honestly, I'm just very, very happy that anything works, because Twitch is walking somewhat seriously fucking horrible right now. I apparently have an assholish amount of problems, and I couldn't start for like, wanted to start early today for like an hour at the very least. Actually, more like 1.5 at this point. Since I didn't want to try just streaming to YouTube, because that would mean changing, you should check the gaming inclusive stuff. I have taken a brief look at it. Well, and now I need to actually take a bit more of an in-depth look at it, to be fair. But I'll check it out. Just that I had a very annoying week already, and it's not gonna get better. I kind of want something nice and relaxed, and well, when you want something very nice and relaxed, you'd be surprised, but WoW is a pretty good game for that. Now, well, as I mentioned, Twitch seems to be having a bit of a sissy fit for some fucking reason, I don't even fucking know. And so I was sitting here for like, oh, a bit. I played some WoW, calm down, and relax. Good point. Normally it at least allows me to stream though. This time, however, nope. Neither OBS nor Streamlabs could find any way to get the settings from Twitch, so that was out of the window. Alternatively, I could have streamed just to fucking YouTube, but I kinda didn't want to do that either.
What brings you here?
And so we end up in this particular situation. It's like, huh, what am I gonna do? Well, let's just play some WoW while we wait it out, and lo and behold, something happens. Okay, I'm looking for certain quests here. Well, we're gonna do something completely different. Because, well, you know, no, why not? No matter the cost, this was annoying as fuck. To put it mildly.
Greetings.
Nothing I ever wanna
Walk with
do
the earth, mother.
walking again. Where's the other one I'm looking for? There should be another quest here. Apparently,
Hail. We shall meet again.
I'm not seeing it. That's strange. Phew. Oh well, oh well, oh well, I shall enjoy what I have. Small mercy, even if we do have to start an awful amount later than I had originally planned. But hey, I waited at least for something special, because you see, I reached level 20, according to my XP bar quite a while ago actually.
Go forth.
I could have gotten my little succubus already, but I decided to now I'm gonna wait and get my succubus a bit later. Then I can show you getting your succubus. Because that is really, really succulent. Yes, very much so. I don't think I need to talk to any special for that. We are going to Orgrimmar relatively quickly anyway, where the next teacher is. Let me just quickly Google that fucking quest, because it's annoying me. I need music in the background, don't I? Edit. Yeah, it starts at the next area, isn't it? Well. What bad joke. I mean, you were kind of telling the truth there. And you.
How may I aid you?
How may I aid you? Let me to Thunderbluff. I do love that I have now a few more places. I've traveled around a bit while you weren't watching, you know. I traveled to Malgor. That's not the area I clicked on game, but thanks anyway. Went to Thunderbluff for a bit. I went into Eschenvale. See, went to here. And then I had to walk all the way over here to do a bit of questing here. It was a pain in my ass. You forget how much of a pain in the ass it is. I was in here a bit. Did a few quests here, there, and everywhere. But honestly... okay, Andy, I'm dying, and I'm trying to say it. Oh, Jesus Christ. It either must be denied or let up. Then I shall deny it. Deny! Deny it all. Ooh. Metroid is killing me for some mystical reason. It hasn't killed me whole day, but now when I start streaming, it immediately is like, yeah, let's kill the bitch. It's like, okay, throw it. Where was I? I've completely lost my train of thought now. Was I? Oh yeah, right, I was about... going to say something nice, for once, about... well, not necessarily Blizzard, but the game they once created. You know, World of Warcraft, as it once was. Nice, a relaxing game when you play it, honestly. I mean, you sometimes get a bit annoyed when you die for like the fifth, sixth time the same group of mobs, because you're kinda, you know, zooming out and you're maybe a bit less than careful in your doings. Yes, maybe, potentially. Not the greatest ability of all, admittedly, but generally speaking, it's a nice game to zone out to. Okay, why is my sound in the background not on again? Because you know, sometimes I have to tap out, look at shit. That's kind of how that goes. Where do I need to go to pick up my quests? Equip up more quests. Also, I look more and more like a cave undead because, well, the equipment I get is doing me wonders. What you're seeing there is actually pants. Yes, I would like to point this out again. These are actually pants. I mean, yeah, they technically speaking have removed complete classic because now it's basically Burning Crusade servers and alternatively the Wrath of the Lich King servers. Then again, Burning Crusade is very close to classic still. It hasn't really changed that much comparatively speaking. You still get a lot closer to the classic experience than you can do in retail. And maybe at some point they will actually go for a complete classic Burning Crusade and then Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm servers. I don't know. Maybe they will. Honestly, I'm kinda happy with the experience we have here. They did, and they gave classic for quite a while. And then they stopped giving you classic because, well... I think actually I read a nice article that they have already started shutting down some servers again. It's like, huh... why won't you do that? Because, well... well, there's surely an amount of people that enjoy playing classic. I mean, like me, you know, I get back in here and I'm like, ah, yes, this feels good to me. I'm sure once I'm max level again, I will
I've been expecting
once again get annoyed. And be like, maybe something else would be kinda sweet.
Be careful.
Actually, am I supposed to be taking that quest? Is maybe, potentially?
How?
Speak with Nara Wildmane. Where's Nara Wildmane? There.
Ah, I've been expecting you.
Mm-hmm.
Walk.
And they're doing the MMO experience wrong. How so? I'm pretty sure since WoW is basically the mother of all fucking modern MMOs anyway, I'm pretty sure they did it pretty damn right.
Well met.
Quite a degree, to put it mildly.
Goodbye. Greetings.
You get bored after you've done it all. You do know how much playtime that means. And even then they started immediately adding stuff. By the point people got somewhat bored because they had reached all the heights they could. They gave us Burning Crusade. Yeah, this game gets fun. Technically speaking, most of the good content, the actually engaging content, raiding and stuff, is end-game content. That principle is also not new. I mean, it's not like, you know, Blizzard suddenly invented it. It was around before. But still, quite enjoyable. Honestly, the little strategy member of mine. I mean, you know, if you have some bucks to spare, give Classic WoW a try a time. I'm probably not gonna regret it overly much. I'm gonna curse a lot. Which is kind of fun. Part of the gaming experience, honestly. I'll probably have some fun with it. Can I jump down here without dying? Ah, one of those decisions. Decisions. Oh, the national food that is still around, isn't it? And there's that. Yeah, let's actually go back there first. I mean, generally speaking, Blizzard has done many things right with World of Warcraft. Considering that back then they had a far smaller budget than they have nowadays. And there are a lot of things have been kept easy. There are some decisions that were very good for them in the long run, like, for example, keeping this very artsy style, this very comically style, compared to hyper-realism style, because that gets out of style quickly. Yeah, I mean, I've played that one too. And still, comparatively speaking, I played the Neverwinter MMO a lot less than I played this one. As I said, you know, this game has a strangely addictive way to itself. And honestly, not bad. I'm not saying it's, you know, everything, but, you know, for somebody like me who played it in the past that extensively, coming back is really, really enjoyable. Of course, if you prefer another MMO, I mean, that's fair, go ahead. And I do think you will have a hard time convincing me that this is not very much fun in its own way. Which is most definitely not going to work. Have I picked up all the quests? Well, fair point. I'm gonna look at that and I try it out too. I still don't think that will replace as well in my heart though. It's just special. And honestly, it gets a lot more special if you actually get a few people. Just sort of fun while I was sitting here. I was actually looking through Baron's chat and seeing if anyone is up for Wailing Caverns or what it's called. I had one dungeon there. Never was good with names, never will be good with names. And I found precisely one person. Now, of course, you need 5, so at this point, since the servers are that fucking slow, you'd probably want to have at least a few people around to bring with you in order to get the full experience. But hey, I don't really care too much about that. What I care about though is getting at least one run in Scarlet fucking Crusade done, because that would amuse me greatly. Ah, Scarlet Crusade. Starlit Monastery. I wanna go to fucking Cathedral. I wanna kill White Mane again. I've killed her like at least a fucking 100 times or so. I kinda wanna kill her a few more dozen times, just out of spite.
What brings you here?
And because, you know, fuck her and all the shit she bloody well stands for. Never really understood the unbelievable amounts of how to even call this? We can abandon that one. Also, one of the features that is very old and not at all used in WoW to that degree any longer. You actually find quests for dungeons all over the fucking place. So, for example, quests for the Ragefire Chasm, that is an Orgrimmar, can be picked up in Thunderbluff. Nobody's gonna fucking tell you that. You have to actually look for them themselves, or have somebody who have them, because there's a shared quest option. A bit bad if some of these quests actually have prerequisites that you have to meet, because then you're fucked, basically. I think this was actually everything I wanted here, just to get some quick review. Shit, that wasn't political. Like, excuse me, you even looked at his career list. You know, he's quite literally an official politician. But was. Until he kinda made the whole system of politicians kinda obsolete.
Well met.
Yeah, well met indeed, woman. Well, I'll tell you some shit now, because you're the only one sending it. Also found this, the Sky Caller. It's a pretty damn fucking rare drop on the beaches, and I was like, this is the sort of moment you really want to have on stream.
Please be at your back.
I mean, if that's meant as a statement like, it's not political to debate about him, maybe, but even then I would be like, but he was quite literally a politician, so, you know, kind of weak point. Yeah, let me check this one last time, because apparently I can't fucking read my own notes. I think we've done everything we can and want to do. What we want to do now is go to Ogrimmar. I mean, you can potentially debate him without any political context if you just go like, yes, he was a pretty normal soldier. Had not much to do. Was pretty
Go in peace.
decent, I guess. And then stop the debate there. Never ever mentioning his personality, his goals, aspirations, or later life. Just go like, yeah, was born, tried art, failed, was a soldier. Then again, since the name itself bears some political significance, that probably will not work anyway. But hey, let people dream. As I want to have that debate. I don't really see the reason of why, because I think there has been everything has been said about that man that can be said. Everything could be over. It's not like I'm advising people to forget about this particular part. In fact, I would say remember this part well, because it's important. We can learn a lot to prevent maybe future disasters. As usually, I don't think there's much more to debate. Debate would mean that there's actually something that maybe new that we would like to talk about, that we would like to convince each other of. There's none. There's no point. All the points have been made. Over and over again. I need something to drink. My throat doesn't like me today. I also need to go to Ogrimmar to finally get a succubus quest, because I want my succubus. My succulent succubus. Because, you know, you can't be an edgy fucking warlord. Warlord? That's a new term. Warlock. Without your succubus. It's a nice leveling pet, honestly. Highly underrated if you ask me. Because most people actually stay with the fucking Voidwalker. I think they do themselves any favors, which, sadly enough, they do not. The Voidwalker, in classic WoW, is not a tanky pet. It's not, man. Hunters can actually get tanky pets. There are some pets that are specifically meant to be tanky. You can use those. But the Warlock was sadly not as lucky. Yeah, I mean, you know, this hero can rise very quickly, very far, and if that such a person falls, or has bad intentions all along, well, they can do a lot of damage, because people will trust that whatever they do it for a good cause. Then again, it's not much of a hero if they misuse their power now. But then again, the status of hero is easily given. Then again, there's also a good saying that what was it again? I'd rather be a coward than a hero, because usually a hero requires you to be dead. It's a good saying, because that implies that we actually should give the title of hero to dead people, and dead people cannot do much damage any longer. The memory can still, technically speaking. Now then. It's a dungeon quest. Well, I think that's my succubus quest. I then how do I get down there and get my succubus kit? Actually a pretty easy quest, not so much if you actually stay in the undead area and still level there. Because that's... okay, first that's not advisable because A... during classing times, that was a pain in the ass to put it mildly. Because of many reasons that would relate directly to the good old-fashioned Silver Pine Forest and all of the pain there is for anyone trying to level there. And secondly, once you get your quest, you're sent to a place over this continent. And if you've never been there, you'll be like, huh, that's one hell of a journey. That is worth it though. I don't wish we can go to the beaches and do some fishing. Why not actually? Yes, we shall make this into half of a fishing stream. Yes. I wonder if that's actually a thing. Playing mini games, in games, making a stream out of that. No, sometimes you have to step yourself. Sometimes you have no other option. And sometimes you get stabbed. Like, 26 times. And by your own son. So he's like, somebody talking about me? Nope, nobody even mentioning your name. Actually, while we're here, can we get some new talents? I wasn't by the teacher for a while, apparently. Good to remember me. Next rank of Curse of Agony, yes please. Self-funnel is fucking borderline nonsense. I wanted... yeah, kinda want it. Honestly, it's useful. Stuff of demon armor. Ritual of summoning. If I want to do dungeons, then yes, this is precisely the sort of thing you want. Do we need this now, though? That's the question I'm asking myself. Here's the one, actually. Don't really need that, it's pretty damn fucking useless. New level of Immolate. Yes, please. Rain of Fire. It's an AoE attack, I know that much. I can probably wait on that one. Well, I mean, it's like, senior and junior, we still use terminology like that. I haven't really gone out of style. Okay, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna get the Ritual of Summoning too.
Strength.
Because that is actually one of the reasons why warlocks get invited into parties when it comes dungeon time. Ah, yeah, that helps. Okay, Corruption Ring 2, Curse of Agony Ring 2. Fuck you, Curse of Recklessness, Strain Harvest already there. There's 1, that's 2, oh, that's 1. Replace that one. We have that one. And we have that one. Where's my fucking Ritual of Summoning? There it is. You know what? Do it like this. Then... name skin, is that... it's just 5 health per 5 seconds or something else. Projects the concentration, rules number 3, resource 7,000. It's the best one I have. And there's did. Unending breath, eh? Okay. Oh, hello there, little leaders. Sorry if I seem a bit distracted. I'm trying to put the right spells in my list. I decide where to put them. Shadowbolt. The spell you get presented as your very first spell. It's like, yeah, this is gonna be the spell I'm gonna use the most, isn't it? And then it's like, nope, never. Good, that is what I like to hear. I'm good too. I'm relaxing. I was come for you to learn more of the summoning magic. Yes, speak with Casual and the Cleft of Shadow. Okay.
Strength.
Where's Casual? So where is Pet Trainer?
Zug.
Let me summon my pet and see what he actually has. In his inventory, what has he already learned? What hasn't he already learned? Oh, I have another of these ones. Yeah, but possibly updating my profile picture. Oh, but it's gonna be this time. Okay, we have Petron 2, Fire Shield 1, Firebolt rank 2. Okay, we need you. I have you. Fire Shield we have. Freedom of Torment, that's for the Void Walker. That. Oh, improved. You commissioned some art. Void Walker. It's the Void Walker, but we're never gonna use the Void Walker because the Void Walker stacks.
Victory!
Stacks fucking hard. Yeah, my little name. Learn your spell! Delete that. Open it. Another Schickstock back, and I don't think I need that. Trying yourself artistically, eh? I'll refrain from doing the same. I'm not the greatest of artists. I do get a nice thumbnail every once in a while. And then I show it to the Kronos and he's like, yeah, I'm happy with this. Like a Coop thumbnail. He's quite happy with that. I remember. Yes, I know now. Very new. What's that? To meet must be that you summon the succubus, a female of the Sayadaris. Need an object to use for incitement. Last of the rest of the Wind Rider Tower lives Zanyaka. She waits for the return of her mate. Go to her.
Be safe.
Okay.
Speak, friend.
Don't try to go to politics. I don't think that's good there. Anyone must be loaded in the limits of incitement. Hey, they don't want it though. Why is there... Why is he like... Do you want to summon an They don't want to.
For the Horde.
I don't want a fucking incubus. I want a fucking succubus. See? Well, wouldn't that very much... I would probably make that dependent on my mood, little Venus. Make her feel more... like cute as appropriate or serious. Yeah. I am very good at making random decisions that I will stay with for fucking ever. Because, you know, the most important part is making the decision instead of fucking cheating there and arguing internally about it back and forth. Sometimes it's just better to, you know, make the decision. Heck, if everything else fails, make a fucking coin flip. Going off personal experience, works better than you might have think. Now, we are not going to summon a fucking incubus. I can tell you that much. We're going to summon a fucking succubus. I want a little succubus because, well, I'm a fucking edgy warlock, what can I say? It's kinda going to be the main theme. I mean, apart from the fact that I run around like a fucking homeless person, you know. This is supposed to be pants. Looks like fucking underwear. Well, you live with that. Okay, are you... Where the fuck are you, little lady? Are you in here? Yes, you are. Very good.
Greeting.
News of the... No. Changes into the Corrostros Fiduci. That was a very unconvincing crime. It's like she was forcing herself to try to sound like she was crying, but in seriousness, she was quite happy that her mate was gone. Because, you know, she can, you know, look for another mate. Maybe somebody who's better earning. I mean, then more than ever make it really about how you feel at the moment. Like, do you feel more like you want to take a serious dive into your own lore? Or do you just want to have a bit of fun? Make it a bit of a cute one.
Dumb.
The good thing is, since I've already quested in the Barrens and stuff, I have all of the the flight points, and I can just fly there. Because running around... I mean, I don't really remember how long this fucking quest chain is in technicality. Email cute? Well, go for cute then. Heck, go all out for cute. Make it as bloody cute that your eyes will bleed just looking at it. You will basically get diabetes just from looking at it. Like some anime series do. Some anime series are so fucking sweet you get quite literally diabetes just watching them, and it's like, ah, yes, this is good. Good shit. Mm. But isn't it happy and peppy that Twitch, as we did once again, decided to work? A normal fucking platform. At least for me. Don't give a shit about the rest though. Everybody else can't stream? Well, all the better for me. No, I not even that mean. I don't actually mean that. I would like people to stream. That's kind of fun. Quite fun indeed. Now then, new spells, new abilities, and that lucky drop of a fucking amazingly blue little wand. I mean, you know, nobody stops you from making a nice little off-spin. Actually, sometimes the off-spin can become a bit more popular even than the original. In some cases, though, it's just not the right thing to do. Like when a certain series decided to do a more musical-minded offspring of itself, and I was like, meh. Meh? But could you not? Holding a bit of a grudge. Also because they had one other offspring that was not so great in my mind, but alas, not good, that's gonna make me depressed. And again, we had a third season.
And honor. Go forth to victory.
You know, back in the golden days, the strike witches were still young and innocent. They decided to make brave witches, and nowadays they make like a fucking music adaptation of that. Like, I don't want to see that. I want to see more of the original strike witches. Eh. Good times. Where the fuck was I supposed to be going? Ah, where's that? Not here. Don't tell mountains. News of the wind, it's over there. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can play relatively close by.
Blood and thunder.
Maybe not close by, to be fair, but
For
at
the
least in the
whole.
fucking region. You can actually let me Google this and see how long this actually takes. Completion. Okay, but okay, that's a long way, isn't it? I see. So we get that shit done, and then we go there, and then we go... Where exactly? Back to Oberma, I'm assuming, and then we have the binding. Okay, shouldn't be taking that long. Good start, I say. Good start, I say. Ah, I'm looking forward to it, though. I waited, and I waited. I'm actually kind of happy that fucking Visual sets to work again, because that means I can now get my fucking succubus. I wanted to show that. It's one of those very, you know, fun little moments. The first time you actually have to do a bit of work, technically speaking, for your pet. Because, you know, your imp is basically like, yeah, kill like 3 enemies, get me some items, bam, imp. The Void Walker is also like, go over there, collect an item, give me the item, summon it, defeat it, bam, done. Yeah, need to go to bed. Well, it is indeed rather saddening, but I shall permit it, as I do know how important sleep is. And have a good night's rest, little Venus, and well, I do hope to see you again soon with some more, maybe, Equestria at War. I need to talk with the crawlers about that. Otherwise, we could do a single-player campaign, but playing with war with friends is just better, generally speaking. Yeah, I'm working on it. At a very slow rate, but I'm working on it. We have many good intentions, as usual. Listen to this nice soundtrack, though. Look at that, the disgusting creature. You know what sort of creature this is? Yes, the fucking blood elf.
I am listening.
One of those moments where you're immersion breaks and you're like, oh yeah, shit, that Burning Crusade shit here. Ugh, disgusting. Why would you play Blood when you can play a freaking cool undead? To be fair, I've just recently played a Blood Elf, although I will admit, you know, at least it was a female one. Harsh male Blood Elves are just strange creatures. Also, they have a very strange looking spin. Always bothered me. Hello, Snowy! Nuke magic. I can learn an AoE firestorm from the sky now, but it's kinda useless, so I didn't learn it. Well, not as much as a Duke, but you know, we're going there, we're getting there. Right now I'm trying to find something that is even better, more smexy than a Nuke. Quite literally, because it's a succubus. And for that massive undertaking, I'm running once again. Because you know, I'm only level 20. It takes a little fucking 40 until you get your mount. On the other side, I'm a warlock. I get my mount relatively for free. I think that was actually a pretty short quest for the normal mount. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. The only real annoying quest that I never actually finished because, yeah, fuck that, was for the epic mount. The epic mount for the warlock. That's a quest chain requiring time, resources, and groups to help you. And yeah, I never got that one finished. I remember that. Always irked me somewhat. Because it was a pretty damn cool pet. Well, pet I say. Pretty cool mount to have and quite a status symbol actually. Way back when. But well. I never got around to finishing it. I started it, then I looked up what I had to do, and then I immediately lost basically all motivation to do it because it sounded like such a fucking pain in the ass. Believe you me, I've seen some pain in the ass quests in World of Warcraft. I fucking did a lot of fucking pain in the ass quests. Usually I'm not too bothered by it. But you know, all in fucking moderation. Quite literally. Now then, succubus, succubus, I wanna have a succubus. Tap, 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 tap. Daddy, 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 doop, 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 doop. Why the fuck there's an option now for sucking fucking incubus? I don't know. It works. I'm relatively sure that wasn't there originally, and I'm relatively sure my annoyance will only rise from that knowledge alone. Such. Why would you feel the need to add that? It was never a thing. As far as I can remember back, it was never a thing. Why would this be a thing now? I wonder. I wonder what sort of deprived, nonsensical train of thought lead to that decision. And on the other side, I'm very much afraid of knowing. Because I'm afraid I won't like the answer. Maybe it's just better to forget about its existence altogether. Maybe. Yep, probably better just. Because I mean, yeah, seriously, fuck that. Nobody in their right fucking mind would go for that. It really breaks the edge of the fucking warlock. Breaks my stride, basically.
Man.
Look might come to that.
Spirits be with ya, man.
Yeah, spirits be with ya, man. Trolls, also a pretty cool race. You can see a very clear trend, you know. The Horde gets a lot of the Kugel people, technically speaking. But most people that started playing actually started playing Alliance because, you know, they have the more human-looking races. The classical races, basically like the Dwarves, you know. Stuff that you know from other fantasy even before. That guy started playing Alliance all the way back then. And we ended up here with an undead. Honestly, once you get used to them, they're kinda cute. I mean, about rotting here and there. Maybe a few bones protruding here and there and everywhere, but, you know, generally speaking, pretty cute people. Bring in the store to look might Camp Torajo. Where the fuck was Camp Torajo at? That's all the way down here, but we can fly there from Crossroads. Ah, never before or after have I been so bloody fucking happy that I already have all of the flying points. Otherwise this journey would take even fucking longer than it will take anyway. And you know what to say, you know. No reason to make necessary any longer than it needs to be. I have the opportunity to actually look up that little incubus and just looking at its picture, I'm distraught. I really don't like it. But apparently most people don't like it. Yep, the bigger picture looks precisely as bad as I imagine it will look. Like, great. Now I have eye cancer. Let's go back and, you know, take care of the other quests. Yes, yes. Enjoy the fact that we'll suon have a little succubus. We go to here, and we fly down to here. We'll give him the thing. Then we come up again, and I think we need to go somewhere. Where's that? Around here somewhere. Wouldn't really be much of a problem. Yeah, also because we are like 2 or 3 levels higher since we lost last time. I mean, I did have to take but kind of drop in a bit and help a bit during the day because I was busy. When I came in, it was like a 19, almost 20, and I just finished up the 20, and then it was the point when I wanted to start streaming. And then I realized that I had like a fucking hour or so in time. Well, I knew it at the time, but then I could play for another hour because fucking Twitch didn't do what work. Which, to be fair, you know, gave me the opportunity to finish that up, and now we can do this next quest. To be fair, calling it a nice quest is a bit misleading because, well, generally speaking, most of these quests just involve one thing and one thing alone, and that is a lot of running around. In the worst case, combined with collecting some somewhat annoying to get materials. But as long as nothing of that is involved, it's usually just running. Which, you know, I mean, you know, in modern WoW, people will be like, meh, not a problem, I'm level 20, I have a mount. Should make things a lot faster. Not so much way back when. It also answers the age of question why everybody in the world of Warcraft looks so bloody fucking, you know, thin and trained up. If you take the fucking time to run everywhere for like 40 levels, which, you know, in the life cycles is basically most of your life. Oh yeah, most people would look pretty damn thin, comparatively speaking. Always amused me. I think it was it actually? Oh, yeah, I think actually it was during Wrath, because Major Quickby, or what's his fucking name is, the one you find in the starting quest area of the Death Knights. That's basically a nice little review, because Blizzard had actually introduced big character models at this point. Like, here, look, we have a new thing. You can kill it. Everybody was happy about it. Many people were like, that's new. That is very new indeed, isn't it? Ain't not bad at all. Yeah, man. The good thing is, while this is going on, I can actually very easily look around. And check that everything actually is working, because I have a high distrust of Twitch at this bloody moment. I mean, I don't want to be mistrustful of Twitch, you know? I actually want to be like, okay, yeah, it's good. Also, that reminds me that I didn't check it today, but yesterday when I looked, we apparently had managed to get a whole whooping 100 of followers to Twitch feed. Now, considering that this is the very interesting timing for me because I'm relatively more so busy than usual, I'm still thinking about doing something special for the occasion. Question is, what and when we'll do it. Originally, my plan for when stuff like this happens is to do just a nice little overly long stream of something, and well, technically we could do this. I could very well, with the way my mood is now, probably sit down and play. But just check WoW, for example. I could probably play this for 10-12 hours in a row. Not really much of a problem. Would get too bored, let's just say. Or, for example, play Point 4, Crusader Kings. That too are games that are very easily playable for any amount of numbers of hours, basically. Any number of hours is what I wanted to say. Then my brain short-circuited somewhere in between. The question is, however, when am I going to ever be able to do that? To that degree. And that's when things become a bit more complicated. Would like Saturday, but Saturday I actually have another rehearsal work-wise. Basically I have to work for, you know, no money. Question is, how tired will that leave me be? It's actually rather tiresome because, you know, it's the same branch basically, same branch as I same industry basically, but still there are many difficulties to overcome when you start a new job. And it will usually leave you somewhat tired. Which, in this particular case, ends then up to be a bit of a problem. Because if I'm tired as fuck, I don't think I'll be able to do much. Difficult. Difficult. Still, I kinda want to do something celebratory. Because I kinda think it deserves some celebrations. I know, never really expected that many people to be like, yeah, sure. That's certainly the guy I want to follow. But apparently, my belief was misguided, and there actually are that many people who want to do that. Who am I to disagree with public opinion? And then, where's the guy that helps me get my succubus? Where are you, that person? Oh, there you are.
Blood and thunder. Go with honor.
Okay, and he's up there. Okay. I swear to God, we'll finish our quest. We'll finish this quest line, and if it's the last bloody thing we do. Also, I leveled up again. Yay! Nice. I get another talent point. What the fuck was I actually going for? I wrote down what I was about to fucking take. Handwise. Because I'm smart and I know that I don't fucking remember stuff like this. It was interruption caused by damage while changing the drain, knife drain. Yeah, please. I mean, right now it's really not the most important spell I have because it takes last 5 seconds, and every second I get 10 health. That means ideally I would get 50 health back. That's from a level 20 mob, usually like 2 hits. Now they're probably gonna hit me a bit more in the time. That's not really something I can easily use to heal myself. Fuck off, hyena. Take all your family members with you. Bloody fucking mongoloid creature. Okay, who dares? That is not a nice combination.
That's still recharging. I can't use that item yet.
You can. Shut up and do it. It went there worth a lot. Personally and practically. Because that thing actually allows me to do some very nice things like fighting 2 mobs without actually dying. And not having to use any sort of trick or otherwise necessitate any work. Usually if I want to fight 2 of them, I kinda have to go and use at least a bit of fear in order to get that under control. Now then, I'm gonna kill you, and probably you. Okay, that cunt really wants to die. Wait a second, it's not. Instead, let's use our nice little spell here. I mean, since we're quite literally training this in order to not get interrupted when we're using this ability, we should make use of it. Ooh, already. That's rather neato. Yeah, probably gonna have to fight you too, don't I? Oh, some people, some creatures just really wanna die. Who am I to say no to that? Ah, 9%. That's not very nice of you. To be fair, I'm also almost dead. But only almost. Doesn't count. Almost in, still not in. Almost out, not yet out. Still so many more to kill. See the bloody fucking grunt just sitting there, doing nothing. Will I get both of their attention? Oh, hey, that's a fucking elite monster. Yeah, that's not something we can fight with. That is something we need to distract and then hope for the best, basically. Vincent in my imp. It's not gonna do much though. And it's lonesome. So what we kinda need to do is kill them, send them, and then take care of the quest. While them does thanking for us. Thanks, man. Precisely what I needed. See you around. I mean, come on. Even the developers would know that you can't just beat a fucking elite mob that easily. We're not that strong. Now, if this were olden times, the barons would be fucking choke full of people anyway. Finding some random asshole to be like, sure, I'll help you. Doesn't cost me much. Isn't actually that difficult. But since nowadays, at least on the European servers, I don't actually know how this is on the American servers. I don't think I can actually play on them. Not that easily, at least. I think there are ways you can do this by basically creating another account that is US based, basically, so then you can play them in US currency and stuff like that. And play on the US servers. There's no direct link between the two, which is kind of sad because I do remember I wanted to play with some Amerikanskis in the past, and that hasn't worked out that splendidly well, let's just say. So you can't really transfer your characters and shit between accounts, so you're kind of stuck wherever the fuck you are. some Euro slut like myself is gonna stay on the fucking Euro servers. And hate every moment of it. Because I can guarantee you, if I would look it up, I would probably see a lot more activity on the US servers. Just to spite me, basically. And then we need to deliver this back to Ogroma, don't we? Yes. So basically all the way back to Crossroads, taking the flight over there. This quest has already cost me quite a bit of money just through, you know, flying. Lover's gift. Yes, we're gonna use their loving little emotions to summon a demon. Yes. Totally not evil. You're edgy. Then again, at least I'm not playing a fucking rook. That's one of those classes. Oh, I remember what that one is called. Warsong Gulch. All the fucking rogue twinks fucking about. Oh, such a pain. Wasn't such a problem early on, but later on, people have had too much time on their hands on max level, and they're like, yeah. Let's train up a character precisely to the max level to get into Warsong Gulch, which is 29 or something? 19? I don't remember off the top of my head. Something with 9 at the end. Giving them the best possible PvP equipment and then just gank the living shit out of everyone. That was bad already, but I also met some assholes like that in the wilderness sometimes. Not really a fun experience, let's just say. But hey, it too is part of the game, you should say. Remind yourself that, well, you could do the same if you wanted to. I was a fan of that. What I was a fan of, though, however, was the city raids. Those are fucking great. Randomly, people shouting, collecting a bunch of other assholes, trying to storm fucking Stormwind, getting annihilated and slaughtered. Not just, who was present during one successful kill, at the very least. Those were good times. Quite enjoyable times. I managed to get Teldrassil done though. Just because nobody could be asked to go that fucking far, basically.
Strength and honor. Go for.
So basically, you know, halfway across the landscape, if you wanna go to Teldrassil, you have to kinda start here, then you go into the Barrens, into Ashen Vale, Darkshore, and then you go into Teldrassil. Somewhere around Ashen Vale, people, you know, half the people were just leading off and going somewhere else. Lisa Kingdom, it's not that bad, technically speaking. The dead one. Where did we start? I think we started here, Chamber of Sorrows. It's a longer distance, isn't it? How the fuck did we manage? Oh no, wait, no. We started somewhere here, didn't we? Yeah, we went with the ship, didn't we? Did we? No, we didn't. Did we? No, we did. I don't remember the double mat. I do remember that we had a lot less trouble getting people to Stormwind though, for some mystical reason. Maybe because we had warlocks summoning people. That could also be. Warlocks are pretty good for that. One reason why you invite warlocks into your party. Because, you know, there was a time before summoning stones. I kinda like that, because I created a very unique niche for that warlock ability that nowadays is basically completely unnecessary, because if there's a fucking summoning stone in front of every bloody dungeon anyway, then you will very, very rarely only make use of your ability to summon somebody. Because why would you? Most reasons why people would collect in one particular spot is usually if you want to go into a dungeon at said spot. As long as the warlock gets there to whatever means possible. And you know, people are already there because you do need help. You can summon the rest. Which also means that, for example, somebody forgets to repair their shit, for example, and they realize while they're there, yeah, they can just hardstone back home, and you can teleport him back in again. There's no merchant close by. Not a problem. Stuff like that. Utility stuff. Very useful. Also makes the class unique. Which I personally find a lot more entertaining than, well, the alternative, basically. Because let's be honest, who likes the idea of every class being, generally speaking, the same? Just kinda annoying, isn't it? Ah, I'm stuck! Cactus is too strong for me! Fire, however, did not burn me. Fire was maybe weak, but the cactus was very strong. Yes, very strong little cactus. I think for the next part we kinda need to go... Actually, I think the next leveling part happens over in Fall again, if memory serves. Yeah, because we do still have some quests that we can give away in the Under City. Got a nice fill up there. Oops. Hit the run button. Or auto run on. Yeah, auto run. One of those very nice features. Let's see, I think without that particular feature many people would not have made it. Without them out that fucking long. Still clipping.
What do you need? May your blades never dull.
Okay, where can I do this? Can I do it here? Quiet of the summoning turtle. Where's that though? Probably read the quest, shouldn't I? And there is tent. Yes, nearly. I would probably say around here. Okay, let's resummon a little impy boy to help us. Quick, get my quests. Yeah, that's good. I get my first little soul thingy. Soul pouch. Soul stone pouch. Precisely. Which allows me to store a nice load amount of soul stones.
I need a target.
Now then, let's see what you can do with succubus. Against my unbelievably powerful little badge. Well, the answer is not very much.
Speak, friend.
She's like, I know where you were to summon the succubus. There's nothing to do with government abilities. Now I actually have a reason to farm more soul stones because, well, and I'll need them. Yeah, I also need to go to the bank and store some items. Don't I? Short answer? Yes. Long answer? Yes, very much so. Of course, it also reduces very, very clearly the amount of items I can carry with me. Because basically means I have one bag less for normal stuff. Which is it? I have a fucking soulstone bag. Even a small one holds fucking 12 of those little bastard things. I guess then we'll take a nice trip back to Fall, go into the Undercity, get ourselves set up with the next quest, and... But for the love of mine, I can't actually remember what we'll do next then. Probably finish up the Silver Pen Forest business. Now we're level 21 even. We should be more than capable of dealing at least with that fucking island full of assholeish little monsters. So that should potentially help.
Blood and thunder!
Yeah, Blood and Schwande. Wonder and Blood. Actually amazing how fast I'm running out of fucking space. What I can do is this. What to say? I can do this, can't I? Okay, put all of the little recipes in there in case I actually want to sell them. Or use them. Beverage minimum moods. I'm gonna keep the linen clause in case I want to start fucking doing tailoring, because then you need an S-load anyway. Instead of then having to start farming them, I'd much rather have some available to me. And we have that. That is basically for sale. I guess I can actually turn into bandages. Yeah, some order has been restored. Now we create bandages. Yes, tasty. Tasty little bandages. First aid. During a time when first aid still was very much a practical skill to have basically at every single one class. Not really that useful later on, when your healing and mana regeneration is that fucking high. Honestly, in Modern War, I don't remember many situations where I actually ran out of mana. Completely. Just with spellcasting. And even then, usually that was so close to the end of the combat that by the time it was bad the next month, my mana was already up again anyway. Same if well, basically, as long as you survive, meh. There is not much of a reason to care. I think that's old school PvP armor, isn't it? I still have so many.
What can I help you with?
Things there. That's the better one. So that melon juice costs an assholish amount of money if you want to buy it at the store. I do need my little thing though. That one I think we don't need any longer. So we have some space here. That one I don't think we have any need for any longer, because I'm never gonna finish it anyway. And I think that is... I can probably put that in there.
Go forth to victory.
On one hand, I kind of want to buy bigger bags. On the other hand, they're quite pricey. I mean, I have a reasonable amount of gold. I had 4 gold before I, learned my abilities again. It's not like I'm that hard pressed for cash that I couldn't afford it. I think it's 50 silver per bag for the next bigger bag. That's something to consider. But that is not actually cheap. Not by old time standards. That's an investment. A wise investment because, well, you will always need space, and I think the biggest space placed bag we can get right now would be Netherweave packs. Yeah, Netherweave was Burning Crusade, so that should be the biggest one we can get. I think after that came Frostweave in Wrath of the Lich King. Since that will be a while since there, I might take a look at the auction house to see if we can get one. But I'm pretty sure the prices would be... oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy indeed. Nothing you wanna think about too deeply. Is that the right one?
Talk to me.
And the city, yeah.
Keep it
I
real!
instinctively went to the right side, Jesus Christ. Did a good job there. Now, we wait. Sit down, civilized people, and just wait. Sitting protest, man, we're just gonna sit here. Okay, that one... 20 silver pine. That one we'll do then. I kinda wanna keep those in case I actually get a chance to get in there. And I don't think so. Probably stop doing those quests. People can root into the bullshit, that is something we can do. Gentle Mountains, can probably stop like those for the moment. And technically speaking, I think actually at this point we would have a chance dealing with firewood people. Do I want to though? It's been for the fucking ages, isn't it? When all of these quests agree now, or maybe potentially we'll be able to do it. Though the Firewood village is, if memory serves, full of elites, and even if those are green, it'll still pose a threat to you. I can at least tell you that much. That is something I remember very well. Elites being a pain in your ass. Because you know, ain't no modern times here, you're gonna have to suffer. You're gonna have to suffer a lot, yes. Is die suffer? Oh, why is that thing on my desk? It's not where it belongs. We'll see. For the moment, we wait. I remember staring at the map or something and zooming by out just to see the fucking Zeppelin right in front of me going away again. But wouldn't it be rather be a blimp? What a blimp? What's the definition for blimp and for Zeppelin, I wonder? Is it just the same thing? Probably have to look that up at some point. Gonna hurt me now. Oop. On the city. Here we come. Again. Haven't seen it in a while. I changed my look while I was away. When I went out of Under City, I looked like a decent undead. I had a robe. Well, that's actually the most important part. I had a fucking robe. Now I look like a homeless person. That is actually not just my underwear. These are supposed to be pants. The woolies. But actually, see? Ancestral woolies. It still makes me look like a fucking homeless person. You know, just a nice reminder to all of these people who are like, meh, there's so many unstylish equipment in later WoW. You'd think so. But usually they don't let you run around like this. At the very least. I mean, you know, not that I'm a complainer. Not overly much at least. I'll take it as it is. And I did find some nice equipment while we were over here. Green armor, more green armor, more. I even have a ring now. My little tunic. I found a shirt. It's not doing well for me, but I found a shirt. Nice little elegant short, yes. And that one. Now normally, many people would be like, meh, why do you want to have stamina on a sword? I mean, technically speaking, I don't give a shit what's on the sword, as long as it's good damage-wise, and that's why I picked it up originally. Then I found my wand, and, you know, that is a lot better for me, option-wise, to use. But generally speaking, stamina for a warlock is actually not bad, because I can turn my health into mana, and with that ability alone, you can probably figure out just how nice that is to have. Also, since for leveling purposes, in all intents, the Void Walker sucks, so I basically have to tank most of the damage myself, which means having a nice health pool as a warlock Really not a bad choice. Quite the opposite, actually. Makes sure that you're feeling somewhat more happy. It's also the one thing that basically keeps your downtime to reasonable degrees. Sure, you can take a rest and eat and drink something after every bloody fight, but hey, that's gonna cost you a lot. For me, it's really going to slow you down massively. That would be still the nice way of saying it. And the city. The Book of Fur. Nation of Google. Neither of that is attractive for me. If memory serves, that whole donation thing was bound to the Ankara gate opening thing, wasn't it? I'm relatively sure that was bound to that, yeah. Now that I think about it. I'm not saying I'm 100% sure I remember that right, but I'm relatively certain. It's like, the head of my feetsies. It kinda hurt. And then was like, Master, don't abandon me. Follow you to the end of the earth. Because I don't have a choice, I'm your minion. Quite literally no choice. Now that we're back here, I might change up the music a bit because the music around that territory is kinda depressing. I mean, it's supposed to be. All of the cheering crowd. Sadly, in this particular case, Arthas has not returned again. He actually abandoned his kingdom rather quickly, didn't he? Came in Death Knight immediately was like, well, shit, the master is in trouble now and I need to save his ass. No time to be a king. And he never became one. Well, I mean, he became the Lich King to be fair, but you know, not the King of Lordaeron. Very much so. Though to be fair, there's also much to say about how the undead actually took over the place, like, you know, no one's business, and so I was like, yeah. Giant middle finger to us, it's like, that's our territory now, screw you. A very understandable middle finger, mind you.
What now?
Ring of Scorn. For Delilah.
Farewell.
Delilah, isn't that a song from the Cranberries? Memory serves. Pretty sure that is. I mean, I would play it for you, but I fear copyright would say no. Just look it up when you have some time. I'm pretty sure it's some of the fucking
Better be good.
Cranberries.
Embrace the shadow.
Now then. Victory, Sepulture. Then we can probably finish up a few more quests and then question mark. How late is it actually? It is getting us late. To be fair, I had to start a bit later because fucking Twitch fucked it up. Like a beach. Maybe we should do some fishing at the Great Lake. Pretty sure I haven't finished my fishing skill yet. Might seem a bit strange, just going there to fish, but I mean, I've done stranger things. And I've seen stranger things as well. Some things I would have been very happy to not have seen, but alas, you know. Surprisingly enough, even in a game like this, you know, where every character is basically a little cartoony creature, people still feel the need to make every bloody last thing they can find to something sexual, because fuck you, that's why. The amount of ER peering that has been going on sometimes has been annoying. I mean, I've heard some rumors about some really bad servers, but even some of the EU servers had some serious problems with that. To the point that it was really, 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 really annoying. Nothing I really wanna go into deeper, let's just say. Apart from the obvious question that everyone should ask themselves, like, why? There's thousands of platforms you could choose from. Why did you choose this one in particular for this? But alas. Sometimes you're better off not even getting involved, let alone asking the questions.
You wish to speak? Walk with the Earth Mother.
Maybe, Torren. Maybe.
I'm listening. Trust no one.
Collecting all the nice quests, collecting all the nice quests. Quests to take.
Hello.
I wanna take this though. It's a dungeon quest, isn't it? That is most definitively a dungeon quest.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Or that Shadowfang thing that I
What would you
remember
ask
well.
of death? Remember, patience, discipline.
At least now we get the whole set of quests around here. It is good.
What is it? Our time will come.
There's a quest for the Shadowfang Keep. That's actually its name, isn't it? Shadowfang Keep! And let's take a look at the map and see what it tells me. It tells me that we need the Dalaran pendants. We can get Acre. Investigate pieces. Pieces. That's where we can get those. I'll probably try this on my own. Oh yeah, I remember now. If we go on that island, we actually have to climb up the fucking castle. Because you have to get to the top floor for something. There is something there, I remember that. That is not so tasty. Because that is actually quite challenging. But yeah, since I don't give a shit about the resting bonus anyway, we are gonna go down to the beaches and take a nice little fishing session. A bit. Gives me a moment to calm down and think about how to actually fit everything into my schedule that I would like to fit into my schedule. Bit of a pain, yes, but you know, sometimes life is just like that. But I do have to think about it. Tomorrow, first and foremost, I need to go to the store and finish up more things. Because we're closing at the end of the month, and as you might see when you look at the fucking calendar, it will tell you that we have the 28th already, which means we're running out of time quicker than I would like. There still needs to be lots of stuff to be done with. So that is probably going to leave me somewhat tired. Then again, probably less tired than the fucking rehearsal of my new work. Should I schedule this for tomorrow? I mean, I could. But would I have enough time? Or stretch it?
That spell isn't ready yet.
One of those very good questions, I'd say.
Now what?
Well, succubus, you're gonna watch me fish. Now we go like whop, whop, whop. Like that unequipped bow is kinda annoying though, isn't it? Oh, I can't stay sitting while doing this. Kinda annoying. But yeah, I think I've heard enough of that music. It's really a bit too lower. Let's change that, shall we? Better. Yep. Wildly fishing 101. Stay the point. Don't move much. Let your mind just zoom out for a little bit. Let me count the hours. Could probably go for 8 hours or so. Maybe 9. I'll do it tomorrow and start early enough. I need to switch things around though for that to happen. I mean, maybe. It's not a bad option. I think that might actually work. Because the other options are looking not nearly as tempting. Friday is even going to be more of a mess because I can't even foresee how long that will take. Potentially take all day, leave me a lot more tired than normally, which is not really something you want to start a stream on, especially not one you plan on to do longer. Wouldn't even be that bad if I had some extra free time on Saturday, but Saturday is also work rehearsal, so it's not an option either. Leaves me somewhat tired, I'd say. Depending on how tired, actually, Sunday would also be a good option then. Yeah, I guess. Yes, tomorrow would actually be the better day then. I could put it into next week, but I have no idea how next week is actually going to be. Technically speaking, by Saturday, which is the 1st, the new month, I'm out of a job. So depending on if I actually get the final okay, and I will be signing my new work contract, and I will be officially out of a job. Now the good thing is that will give me all the time in the world to stream, you would think. But that would also mean I would need to take care of the fact, well, without a job I have no income, so I would need to go to the nice process full of bureaucracy to get some those nice social security nonsense. to make myself feel, you know, not homeless in the near future. And that, too, is quite the pain in the ass. So, it's nice that we have such options, yes. Kind of lifesaver in some situations, but the raw minus is that it's actually not that easy to get that going, and working for yourself requires a lot of paperwork. And usually the sort of where you know, have to at least spend half a day in a fucking waiting line on some fucking phone going like, huh, yes, I have just one question, if you could just answer that. You have waited for like fucking 2 hours. Then 2 pages later on you're like, huh, shit, I have another question. I don't think I need to help you, but I will anyway. You're an annoying asshole. Disturbing my fishing for no good reason. Then of course next comes the question of actually what game to play. I mean, the way I feel it now, WoW kinda would fit the bill rather nicely actually from my point of view. Not really the kind of game that I find it really hard to waste a few hours. That would also be good. Probably gets a lot better if I can get the Kronos to play. Technically that's a possibility. So many options. I could play Crusader Kings. That I can also play alone relatively well. Entertaining myself. You know what, we're gonna fish until we have a skill of 100, then I'm gonna run back to the Sepulchre. Get myself some of that nice, sweet ass rest bonus anyway, though I really don't give a shit. Then I'll sleep on it basically. So honestly, when you reach the point where you can't make any decision because all of the options look somewhat meh or have some negatives to them anyway, you want to make a decision anyway, and sometimes it's better to just sleep on it and then make the decision rather rapidly instead of waiting on it. Seems to be a lot wiser in my ways than the alternative. Some fishies at least. Oh, I need to get back anyway because I need my bags to be empty, because on that island you can collect a lot of shit. And it's the castle. Need to go in there. And all the way up to the top floor. I remember that. Not for good reasons. I remember it being a pain in the ass. reminds me of the past. I could spend a whole fucking evening just sitting here smoking my pipe and fishing. And I've done so in the past. Repeat offender, basically. There's some nice music. Usually some people to talk to, and kinda nice. And then some random fishing. Now there's some better fishing spots I prefer. One of the things I always somewhat look forward when new expansions come out, like, I could find a new nice fishing spot. If I get maybe some nice in-game music actually. I don't have to actually look for one on YouTube. Those were good times. Actually, good thing is the succubus does a nice amount of damage actually on her every own. I don't actually need to care too much about her. She can at least deal with this cunt relatively well. Makes for a very nice leveling pet. Little damage dealer. Consequently, means that you also find yourself once again in a very nice situation of being actually the tank. Although, to be fair, since most of my spells, actually, well, the ones I use, are my curse spells, those take a while to actually build up damage. Apart from Immolate. Immolate actually has a immediate damage effect and then dot effect. Still, that's usually not enough. Even the imp can take aggro away from you relatively easily in the first like 5 seconds of the fight until the dots start ticking properly, building up the damage. But it means he will also at least have to take a few seconds of fight. Which she's maybe not necessarily built for completely, but, well, could be worse. What did I mean? A lot worse. Bit of a mixed bag there. Then again, highly recommend it. Hit level 20, start using your succubus. And use that basically all the way to level 60. And technically speaking in a raid, you'd probably use the imp, mostly for the blood pact. Because that goes to everybody. It gives them more stamina, which is... I mean, it's not much, but you know how it is. Every little bit counts. And free health, basically, is never a bad thing. Never ever. Well, we reached the goal for the moment. Re-equip more things. Then we run back and done for the day. Pretty nice. I achieved what I wanted to achieve. Most important part. Touch my little succubus. I actually was capable of doing a fucking stream at all. But the Twitch managed to get its fucking whatever the fuck nonsense sorted out. Really though. For a company that big, you would usually assume a bit better. Maybe, potentially. But alas, apparently they are not above making such irritating mistakes that it actually fucks them over so completely. And that's the sort of thing, you know. For me personally, as this is my little nice little hobby I do, it's an annoyance, and not much more. Imagine if you actually were one of those who make the living off of streaming. That would suck ass. Especially if you have only a very strictly schedule it where you only stream like once or twice a week, then you would have to delay or cancel one of those. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it's the sort of situation you want to be in. Maybe you can walk around and find another date. Hey, since you're kinda reliant, well, actually quite a bit, on you older people's goodwill, I'd probably not be feeling too good.
I haven't got all day.
Yeah, me neither, woman. Me neither.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Back then I would actually agree, yes, victory for Sylvanas. We're all undead here. Sylvanas kind of became a bitch later on. I really didn't like what they did with her. Well, it shall be it then for today. I shall beat you at you. Have a good one and all of that. And let me see who has dropped by, shall I? We see on the right side, we see one. The little Snowy dropped by for a bit. I was like, okay, nuke magic, please. Oh, the poor little undead. I don't have nuke magic. I mean, look at me. I quite literally look like I'm a homeless person. Do you think I have a nuke? And he's like, yeah, I have a nuke in my pants. It's like, man, that's one of those questions, you know. Usually, since, you know, a lot of his stuff is already rotted off, wouldn't his, you know, thingy bits also have kinda decomposed already? Let's not think about that, shall we? You don't know that for the female undeads, at least their titties are still somewhat nice and attached. They look rather springy, all things considered. So, you know, maybe a good sign for the male counterpart, but I don't know. I don't see much, you know, in the pants. But who knows? Maybe he just never was that gifted in the first place. He's like, hey, what are you talking about? I want to say this to my face? Yeah, I'm doing it. I don't know. Meh. Well, that is it for the YouTube side. I also see one like. I like it. Quite literally. I like it quite literally. Now then, let's go over to the left side, Twitch side, and take an educated look. We have, first and foremost, your old strategy, Momberu, coming by. Albeit, staying and talking as he likes to do. Rather enjoyable fellow, I do say so myself. Then we had a short visit by the little Venus, going by and contemplating life and art. Well, more art than life in this particular case, but we will see what happens to his prove a bitch in the future. I have no doubt. And as, you know, a bit of a correction. Not only did a little stretch remember drop by, he's still here, hiding away in the shadows. Yes, if you did here, you especially will stretch remember, it might be a very, very, well, compared to normally, long stream tomorrow. We'll see about that. Just, you know, as usual, keep an eye out. We'll see what happens. I mean, I would like to do something really long for once, but I'll probably have to wait. I mean, realistically speaking, at the very least, some time into the new year before I can actually reasonably ask for some vacation time. But then we could actually do something long. I'm not saying 24-hour stream, but a 12-hour stream would most definitively be an option. I'd kinda itching for some longer playtime, let's just say. But if we have longer playtime anyway, then, well, streaming does not sound like a bad option, now does it? Yes, very much so. Well, those are dreams for the future. First comes work, then comes entertainment. That's sadly how it always has been. With that in mind, as for everybody else on the more lurking side, do feel appreciated too. Hit yourself on the shoulder for a job well done indeed. And I hope to see you all again tomorrow in the normal time when, you know, yeah, normal time at the very latest in this particular case. If not, little Twitch decides to fuck up again. Which I will not take any guarantees for. I don't work for the company. I'm not the bloody fucking chef. The boss man of that company. Oh, you know. Can't speak for them and can't make any promises for them. Small amusements. That's what keeps you alive. But yes, apart from that, I don't think I have any further notes in particular to speak of. And even if I had, I can't find anything on my desk. I absolutely need to clean this up because it's become a mess. A mess like no one's bloody business. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I will need to clean this up at some point. But it too is neither here nor now. Right now, if I would actually start to deal with this chaos, I would probably misplace so many fucking important documents that I still need. At least until this month is over. So maybe on Sunday when I have some free time, I'll actually clean up at least some work-related documents. There's of course some laws to consider, and some documents actually need to be kept, depending on what sort of documents, for 10 years. Or 6 years, in some cases for 6 months. Which means if I were to move at some point in the next 10 years, I would have to take boxes, at least a few, just full of fucking documents with me every single bloody time. That's not like the state usually asks for that, but potentially they could, and if they don't, you can't actually give, you're gonna get in trouble. So you know, I always imagine it like this, so that, you know, the Ministry of Finances, a random asshole who really loves their job just sits there all day, and you know, when the season comes around to make some inquiries, they just randomly go through a nice collection of every bloody business they have or had, and they just randomly pick 1 or 2 out and be like, yes, I'm going to make this person's life a living hell by making them search for document XYZ from 8 years ago, all the way smiling because they really enjoy being an asshole. There are people like that, and I'm pretty sure most people working for any of the big ministries is probably like this. Just enjoys making your life hell for no good reason. Pain in the ass, but yes, the goal for any longer stream would be to stop looking like a fucking homeless person, but this is still very much classic power. It's pretty hard to not look like a homeless person for most of your journey. Bureaucracy. Ironically, the only ones I know of that can be nice are debt collectors. Sometimes they can be, but that's only because, you know, debt collection actually works a lot better if you don't break down the door at first meeting and threaten them with violence. Actually, people are a lot more willing to pay, and in some cases will outright not be at fault. Sometimes, you know, post office makes mistakes. Sometimes things didn't get delivered on time. Sometimes an address change didn't go through. And once you find these people, and you tell them outright, hey, listen, shit happens, you're in debt, haven't paid, they'd be like, yeah, I see, I'll do. Now if you start immediately by threatening, you don't get a nice response. That can also happen. I mean, technically speaking, the whole business of debt collection, usually it runs like this. Or that is at least the business around here in many cases. Some companies actually sell their debts to professional debt collectors, who then actually take that over, or take over the debt and collect on it. Makes it easier for companies because, well, they don't have to deal with the collection part any longer. They're not going to make a profit of it, but at least they're not going to inquire a loss, and say, even more importantly, immediately get their money, which means liquidity. So your cash flow is secured. Sometimes those debts can actually halt all of your business operations because you are out of, you know, flowing cash. Which means that's a very nice option for them. It's all about the cash flow, the fast cash flow. And you need it. You need liquid cash to go around. Otherwise, no business. You need to all the time buy and all the time sell. One of those things. Now, of course, if you're specializing as a company in debt collection, you have a manifold tools at your disposal. Well, yes, that it has. Only for a short while, because, you know, the main reasons why so many people were in debt has not disappeared. You just made sure that they don't have debts now. As long as the system itself doesn't change radically, people will find themselves in debt again. Relatively soonish. you're also gonna ruin your businesses by that, because, you know, most of these debts go straight back to some business, who's then also sitting there like, okay, my debt is also forgiven, great, but I don't have any money. Which leads back to cash flow. You still kind of need to make sure that your business is still functioning. So then in the next step, you kind of then have to give the businesses money in order to actually keep the money flowing, so that they can buy new wares that they can then sell. Now to keep the ball rolling, because if the businesses don't buy the wares from the actual producers, every business goes up very quickly. It's a nice little chain, you know, from the producers to the wholesalers to the small sellers to the end customer. If one part of this chain breaks, the other parts will break too, which is going to ruin your whole economy quickly. Which means you need to make sure that every part works good. As long as the resources are there, somebody will be able to produce, but you can't produce without selling, because otherwise you couldn't pay the people that actually, you know, be finding your resources. It means you need wholesalers to still be around. Next, you need the wholesalers to actually, you know, be willing to buy off all of the goods, because they have an option to resell those at a profit. And then you have the small businesses that actually sell to the end customer. It's the easiest chain, economically speaking, that we have, because it only has 4 simple parts. In a lot of cases it's a lot more complicated, but that's the simplified economic chain. Yes, and if you... that's the whole point. That's also a part of the chain. If the people don't have money to buy, then no small businesses will exist. So no wholesaler will actually buy anything, or not even exist, because, well, they would have nobody to sell to. And so nobody would, in the end, produce anything. Because why? There's no way you can actually produce in any numbers. It would lead back to small manufacturers doing basically handiworks and not much more. Because there's no demand. Or no, there is a high demand, but there's just no way to actually make money off of it. See? One part of the chain breaks, no matter which one, and everyone else follows. Always leads back to zero if you don't maintain things very carefully. Which is usually why the market is very good at managing itself, because that somewhat works. And also the reason why the state should not be overly indulgent in interfering with it. Otherwise your economy will suffer somewhat fiercely. Too strict a regulation can strangle the life out of a business. As long as it's just a few small businesses, people might be like, meh, not a problem. But that can very well hide a far larger problem that will in time affect everybody. Yeah, it's only so long you can keep a company going. Especially if you don't have any fresh money flowing in. But well, I could sit here and talk about that particular subject for of an eternity, because, well, that's kinda the whole, you know, because we have our little dual training system, which means we have half a part basically being in the store and learning the basics of, you know, doing store things, the other half being at school and learning all these theoretical stuff. So I have to deal with that every bloody week. Since I also do the extra qualification to get even higher. Yeah, stuff like economic basics is literally our topic of the day in all of its facets. Right now, for example, personnel management and all of the cool shit. Pretty fun topic, as long as you don't go into far too much detail, because then it becomes really, really, really annoying and numerical. Everything gets broken down into numbers. Like people. People get easily broken down in numbers. How much can one person produce in 1 hour? How many people do I need then to produce X amount? How much work volume do I have then? How does this translate into, for example, what I need to hire? What sort of factors come in there? How much time will they be available? Will they be out for example, because they have to do some other stuff? For example, pregnancy. People get pregnant. That means you can assume that they'll be out of your business for a while. Because there's actually, mother protection and stuff like this, which actually means you can't employ them after a certain date, and you can't re-employ them before a certain date. It's time that they will not be there, and you can't fire them, so you need to pay them. That money needs to come in too. And all of that nonsense. Everything becomes numbers. Which is really taking the human aspect out of it, but that's kind of the point. Economics. What a pain in the ass. Oh well. Another debate for another day. See, if I actually do a longer stream, I will have all the time to ramble about my misgivings and the dehumanization that happens when you go at things like this. And why it's still actually technically speaking a good system if you would be applying it right. Because you could use such a system, of course, very much to the advantage of your people, and make them somewhat happy people that like working for you, but most companies will not do that. They will instead use that system to maximize the profits. Yes. Profits. Great, profits. Which is understandable, because a company, as a construct, has one singular goal. And that singular goal of a company, if you take out any human factors, is to make as much money as it can. Yes. Fair point. If done right, many systems would be genuinely good for us, but the problem is doing them right, and some systems are a lot more, I would like to say, fail-safe than others. Some systems just lend themselves very well to misuse. Exactly now. Yes. I mean, look at me. I'm a non-dead. My system failed me. Lordman failed me. The king failed me. Prince is an asshole. Look at him. Playing around with this is kind of fun. Maybe I heard too much. Generally speaking, if you have a system that involves a lot of people in a position to influence decisions, it's a lot harder to manipulate than a system that requires only a very few people to make decisions. Technically speaking, that means that a company of a very strict hierarchical order, where only one person is in the top decision-making position, is a lot more easier to fail than a business that has a lot of people making decisions for it. Indeed. Also, a certain amount of corruption will always be a thing. People will act in their self-interest first and foremost. If my own self-interest is not necessarily bound to whatever system I work for, be it a company or be it a state, especially if that is not going well. I mean, yes. Technically, a union exists only to counterbalance the power of the job givers. Company owners, because those, technically speaking, can do a lot of evil things to reach their original goal, which is to make money. Now, since one of the highest costs in general that you have as a company is your employees, yes, that's an interest conflict, isn't it? Because you, as the one doing the work, want to get the most money for your job, for your time spent, and your boss wants to pay you as little as he can. That is why we have laws and we have unions to actually have a bit more saying power. Because one person does not have much power compared to a company. A whole union, now we're talking a bit better. It is one of the reasons why I do kinda like democratic systems, because they allow such nonsense in most places. Not everywhere though. And a sad name. I mean, yes, unions do have leaders too, but the idea of a union is actually to counteract the normally very overpowering position of a company, or all the companies in a certain industry, because otherwise they will determine the prices, they will determine your monies, they will determine your work time. It's a very good thing. Look at that! At least my little undead had a lot of fun. Alright, as I was getting to that point. Oh. Freedom exists because, well, taking it away from people that know freedom makes them very angry, very much willing to fight back. Basically, people that never knew freedom are kinda not well. I also do think there's a bit too much freedom nowadays in some cases. When I listen to a lot of the younger people who are like, well, I have all of these options of what I could do, and I have no idea what to do, no way where to start, I do think that freedom should probably be somewhat limited. Well, yes. Usually that's why you have a constitution where you write down your freedoms and be like, okay, these can never be changed. Everything else is debatable, but these will stay. It's a kind of neat thing about that system. Of having a constitution. It's like, yes, you have this particular freedom, you have that particular freedom, and none of these are touchable. Or most of them are not touchable, technically speaking. It also serves the nice purpose that we don't have to think about what freedoms, to what degree, to apply here, then, everywhere, every bloody single time something comes up. Good times. No, that is usually by you know, you put it into law, not just take it the original. I mean, you know, Germany's not gonna go ahead and take the fucking 1814, I think, was the first time we had something that could be considered a constitution in the largest, broadest sense. In theory, coming along. We wouldn't take that document and just go like, yes, what did they mean by this? No, we actually took the original ideas, applied them in the Weimar Republic, took the bits that were good from that, then put it into the so-called Grundgesetz. That's that. I have to say that that isn't debated too nowadays. There are actually still some people around who are like, you know, we never had a constitution. You're sitting there like, I see this book on my shelf. Quite literally, big one. Laws. It says Grundgesetz on the cover. That's not a constitution. And I don't know. But well, let the people contemplate, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, there are some aspects of the Grundgesetz, for example, that cannot be changed. The structure of the state, for example, like we have the whole of Germany combined into one Bund, to one union, the Union of Germany, while every state in it still remains a certain amount of freedom, how to rule itself. That is actually bound by law and cannot be changed. There are other aspects of it that can be changed. Technically speaking, if you get an absolute majority in parliament, we can change some part of it, but there are some laws that are just written down as is and will never be changed. It's not possible. You would quite literally have to destroy the state as it is in order to change those. And honestly, nobody really aspires to do so. I mean, I'm sure some people aspire to do so. There's always at least a few people who are like, nah. But let's not think about that too deeply, shall we? Because that's gonna get depressing. Yeah, I mean, it's good that you can change it, but, you know, some things should never be changeable. Like the state form, for example. It should be clearly stated what form the state can exist in, and it should not ever go away from it. Which is good. Or stuff like, you know, that people need to be, I mean, it's a debatable topic, but generally speaking, people are supposed to be treated equally, which means you should be judged on your skills and experiences, which fits the German mindset very well when you think about it, instead of, you know, other such nonsense. So basically the idea is I can't hire a nice blonde bitch with nice tits just because she's a nice blonde bitch with nice tits. That would be not equal, because if there are other contenders that have better qualities, skill-wise, I should hire them. I'm not saying that, you know, every decision is made on such rational, but it should be. There's no reason to scratch something like this from your constitution, ever. You should always aspire to the ideal. Treat people equally based on their skills and abilities. And not on their, well, for example, fuckability. Which does remind me that I do know quite a few women who have not, you know, fully aware of what they were doing, used their charms to get what they wanted. I mean, if you have the goods, why not use them? It's a skill of its very own, sadly not the sort of skill that we appreciate, though, is it? Step, 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 step. See, keep it just broad from the beginning. Just go like, nah, no discrimination, please. That's it. Don't add anything to it. Makes it a lot easier. Then you don't have to change things. Yeah, just go like, nope. Can't discriminate people because of where they come from or how they look. That wouldn't be fair. And again, not to say that life is necessarily fair, because we're all born differently with different abilities, so meh. There is no equality of outcome, only equality of opportunity. That alone is already hard to achieve. Yeah, no, because it's just really broad. You are not allowed to discriminate. For reasons of, you know, heritage, for background stuff like where you come from, for religion. None of these are actually allowed. And that's all it says. Technically, when we're born, we all have the same equal chances is the ideal. Practicality speaking, though, that's of course not the case. If you're born in a more wealthy household, for example, your chances of actually getting a good education are a lot higher. But then again, of course, there is no ideal system in place. And nobody's surprised. How would you even achieve that? I mean, I still remember my grandmother's generation when she wanted to actually do, you know, get herself a degree, wanted to become a barber, you know, haircutting and shit. She was like, yay, I got a place, I can totally learn this now. And then she went back to her parents and they were like, no, you need to help out on the fields. I mean, where poverty come from? Well, poverty is, after all, just a bit of an imbalance in how the riches are around. Now, of course, not everybody earned their riches, but those that did, fair point. Those that inherited, well, good luck. Because, you know, usually there's the saying that by the third generation they had to put out the for sale sign, because that happened quite often. But I don't think you can reduce poverty to just one reason and go like, yes, this is the whole reason why people are poor. It usually is a bit more complicated than this. I mean, you know, take for example rich countries. Germany is relatively rich, secure, safe, most of the time. There is quite the amount of jobs open. We need a lot of people, and well, we're quite literally importing unskilled workers in order to fill many jobs. The amount of skilled workers we need also increases year after year in pretty much every field. Which means, as long as you have the will to sit down and go through fucking, well, yeah, 3 years of training, which means you're not gonna earn much money, you suddenly have an assholish amount of doors in front of you that you can open, if you so wish. Sure, that requires some patience, but you can. It's not like there are no opportunities. They are, and still, there are quite a few people who do not make use of them. Actually, there are quite a few people who would stay unskilled workers for the rest of their life. I mean, yeah, they will have it harder in education because they don't come from the same background, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible. Of course, some people, I know some people, and cool people, as far as I'm concerned, but they're simple-minded. They do not have any interest in doing anything else than standing at that little line and putting the caps on some spray, paint, thingies. They're happy doing that for 8 hours a day, and that's enough for them. They're not earning a lot of money, but it's just not They do not aspire to more, and quite frankly, at least they themselves have convinced themselves that they don't have the skills to do so. I don't know. I've never tried them in a situation, you know, and I haven't put them through any training, but maybe they could achieve it, maybe not. But as long as they're happy with what they have, okay. A lot worse when you're unhappy with what you have. Yes, but money can be earned. How do you think I got my business going? By earning the money first and then investing that money. It's not impossible to save that money. It's a pain in the ass to do. You can. Even in small degrees. But if you from the very get-go go like, you know, I'll never achieve it, I'll never get anything, yeah, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, you will not. You have to first get out of that mindset. And that's the real challenge. Yeah, that would be definitely better. But it was a nice debate, thank you for staying along. Always kinda nice to debate you. As I said, maybe you'll see me tomorrow a lot earlier if things work out well, and then we'd had at the very least like 8-9 hours or so of time to debate. See, even the game is like, you've been disconnected, screw you. Thanks game. Thanks game. So yeah, I'd say have a good night in Strategy Mamba, and see you soon for more entertaining points of interest about this, that, and everything in between, basically. Because I do like to run around topics like, you know, a madman around a fire pit, screaming all the while. Is that once again I shall be a good one?